Yes, it's so good to be with you. I am trying to get my light on. I am so grateful to be here with you, Terry, and ready to get this live started. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've designed a lovely conversation that will hopefully provide you with some insight as to how we run our businesses, what we value, and drop some nuggets about uterine fibroids and menopause.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Super
Do you want to
excited.
start, Phyllis, by just giving us a little background about who you are?
Absolutely. So, thanks for joining. My name is Phyllis, founder of Fibroid Queen. I've been able to shrink and eliminate fibroids using a unique holistic formula. Now I coach women all over the world on how to fight fibroid problems through a unique holistic program. So we help women from um, prevent fibroids, losing weight, hormonal menopause, post-hysterectomy, different transitions in life that encompass hormonal related issues is what we service. So I'm so glad to be here. Fibroids is a silent pandemic. Up to 80% of women will get fibroids, and that's why I'm so grateful to be here with you, Terry. I know we've met online, but even though we're in this industry of wellness, there's so much opportunity. And what I love about what you do is this transition in life that is not really laid well in society as far as menopause. So if you don't mind sharing just a bit about what you do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Phyllis, your audio was doing something a little funny for me. I don't know if it was after you put in your earbud or not, but it turned into a little staticky. I'm not sure if anybody else can hear that, and for those of you who are joining live, we haven't enabled the chat for this round, but we can do that in the future, absolutely. So if we'd love to hear your comments, you can post in the event itself after this, and we can answer any questions or comments that you might have. My name is Terry Lynn Heath, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Movement Path. And I empower women to take control of their health through self-love and movement. And I believe that we can I'm very passionate about having an impact on our wellness through movement and believing that we can be in control of this time in our lives and looking at perimenopause and menopause as an opportunity to really redefine your future and to really take the reins. So excited to dig into that a little bit more.
I love that. Take the reins. I felt that energy. It just came in like, yeah, let's go. It's still here. The static.
It's still doing a little funny thing. I'm not sure. Can you work without it or try it without it? And then
I think I need to turn off altogether, but I don't want to lose where we are. So what I'm going to have you do, if you don't mind jumping us off, because you have a that just launched. If you can go through that a little bit, and I'm going to go and turn off this Bluetooth.
Okay, great. Yeah. So I think that Phyllis said that I have an opportunity coming up in January. January 15th, I'm launching the Modern Matriarch, which is a 12-week fitness program designed for women in perimenopause and in perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And if you don't know if you're in perimenopause, that's totally fine. What we do is really build the foundation of your habits with exercise and nutrition and sleep. Those are really the three foundations that we focus on. That starts January 15th. And so there's still opportunity to register. I have registration open up until the 15th, and you can reach out to me and we can chat more about it. And I'm sure a little bit more of that will be revealed during our conversation here today.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's
Great.
why don't we jump right in, Terry, right? Should we jump right
That sounds
in?
great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really burning to ask you this question. Just being able to finally meet with and talk with you and hear more about your background. I guess what belief do you feel is connected to the health challenges that you may experience, whether it be, before menopause, or like what are some health challenges that you feel are connected to maybe a old belief system that you had?
Great question. Well, I think an old belief would be that I didn't have control over my body, or I didn't have dominion and agency over my health. And my new belief that has helped me overcome health challenges like a torn MCL and PCL, and I actually have uterine fibroids, which we didn't ever talk about, which I can't believe we haven't talked about yet. We could talk about that later. But I found that out during my infertility or fertility process. So we can talk about that later. But other health challenges like quitting alcohol, things like that. I believe that we do have the ability to heal ourselves, and that the universe and the earth actually supports that. We see it all around us, and life is supported, and we're supported to succeed. And so I truly believe that we by just getting in touch with who or how our body functions and what's actually going on in our body at any given time, through education, through conversation, through coaching, through experiences, we can better manage our health, because we can't really manage something we don't understand. So just becoming aware of what is happening, and truly embracing that we can heal. That's the belief that I hold dear. That we can heal ourselves, that we are in control.
That really
to some extent.
resonates with me. No, that really resonates with me, because I'm so in awe of, like you said, how much control we do have over ourselves. But it's like that belief of, not be knowing and being conditioned to think otherwise. So I really just am empowered by clarity. And, even for me, I know for a long time, growing up, I was the oldest, and I was brought up in a Ghanaian household, my parents in Ghana. So culturally, there was a little bit more expectation and responsibility for me versus my other siblings. I'm sure many can relate to that, but it was a capacity where sometimes my dad would be like, you know what, Phyllis, you don't need any friends. You got it, you can do it yourself. So I grew up with that energy of being extremely independent, and feeling just weak, even thinking about asking for help. I was just doing everything myself. So love my daddy, I'm a girl, but I feel that he was coming from a place of what he knew, but not knowing the impact of what he did to me later in life, where these situations I was doing everything myself because I didn't want to ask for help, even in relationships. And that did nothing but cause me more and more stress. And chronic stress and fibroids are related. And knowing that I was in this stance of, I look weak and not wanting to look a certain way because I was afraid to ask for help. It really caused a lot of conflict inside of me, where I was constantly in a state of fight or flight. And, that goes against what you said, nature, right? I believe too that we are synced up, we align with nature core, that it's really what's the reflection is where we are right now, with being so high and just mental issues, and just a lot of things that are really growing as far as disease and challenges and ailments, but working with nature, and the body works as a team. The body works as a community. Our organs, our cells, our blood, they all work together. We don't just have a heart and a brain. We have kidneys, most of us have kidneys. We have, a pancreas. So our body works as a community, as a team. So the belief system I had to get out of was, not thinking I can do everything myself. And just like we just started the call, you were like, "Oh, Phyllis, you looks like you do a lot for your business." Yeah, and Terry, I've been looking to that. So it's definitely been levels, but I'm now at a point where it's like it's okay to help. Our bodies normally work as an environment that needs support. So community has been huge for me, and that's what I've been able to do for women that we coach. Eliminate fibroids naturally that have had surgeries, but the fibroids grew back. We really help them with providing them a community, so that way they're not feeling alone, because the body doesn't work by itself. That would be the belief for me, is not thinking I can do everything by myself, because it goes against nature.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, the community aspect is so true. And I love your metaphor of community, of the body systems. The body systems are in a community, and we have the community and our social setting that is so important to help support us thrive. I definitely hear from women who are trying to start any fitness program or going through any sort of trajectory towards their goals, and I hear often that they fall off path because they don't have that support system, and the people who are also undergoing a similar situation or on a similar path. So I definitely think that community aspect is so important. And you mentioned cortisol, and it kind of leads into the next question about the biggest obstacle to truly embracing health. I don't know if this resonates with you, but do you think that our stress levels are an obstacle to truly embracing our health, or can you think of anything else that is an obstacle to really taking the reins there and taking control?
Yeah, I love that, because cortisol level is huge. That is actually a result of a lot of the things that we are doing, that we are healthy, but it's actually increasing our cortisol levels. But for me, I would say the root of it that's getting in the way for us truly, at least for myself, was the belief, right? Overcoming the belief. I have what it takes, I have some self-worth, and that's where I needed to start, is building that relationship with myself. And that gave me the courage and the empowerment to say, okay, I believe in myself. I know I can do it. I have what I need in order to get started. The community, right? Now it was so the belief, the support, and then it was actually putting into action, and that is the plan. So unique holistic formula is something I created as I wanted to shrink and eliminate fibroids naturally. It came through really understanding that the status quo is just not enough, because the status quo doesn't really align with how our nation naturally works. You mentioned earlier that connection with nature and that belief we can heal. Well, that's great, but having a system that supports that. And I felt for a long time that I was failed by the medical system, even as a nurse for over 15 years, and seeing fibroid patients come in and out to get myomectomies removed, only for them to grow back, or they have other neighboring issues because the root hasn't been addressed. I don't want to go through that. So becoming a personal trainer, I've been able to see how typical weight loss can work with typical programs. I've been able to see how, as a bikini athlete, the vegan plan is very subjective. You get to see all that, and kind of putting all those things together. Like, I've done all the right things that society has told me to do. I have these masses on my uterus. So that was my wake-up call to say, you know what, so I literally turned my home into a lab. And that's where I came up with this formula. And that's what gave me the results of shrinking and eliminating fibroids and using that to help other women have those same results. But I really feel it's a step-by-step. Your question of, is it, I think that's a result of it. But at least for me, I had to go from for myself, really realizing my self-worth, my potential, and then being around the right people to foster that belief, and then getting the right plan to act on these actions, and wake up my systems in the most natural way. So hopefully that answered your question. What about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Similar, the obstacle that I would name is not having the connection to, or the love and connection and compassion for yourself. I want to be my body's best friend, and I want other people to feel that as well, to treat your body like you would treat your best friend. You know, how are you? What do you need? What can I do for you? Have you gotten everything today that you need? And if so, what can I do for you? If not, what can I do for you? So really embracing the aspect of self-care and self-love by being your best friend. And I think that has been my biggest obstacle. It was just, I think I posted on my birthday just this year that I truly know what it feels like to love myself now. And I honestly felt like I didn't know before, because once I knew, I was like, this is what it feels like. So I want everyone to feel that feeling, because I do believe that, you know, we're bombarded as women with so many messages that we're not enough, and that we haven't succeeded yet if we're not XYZ. And, you know, it has a lot to do with how we look, right? And as far as society is concerned, and we've taken all that on, and it's just such a big burden to bear. So really digging into how we can love ourselves more and take care of this one body that we have. This is just the one, as far as we know, in our lifetimes, that we'll be able to care for. And I work on that in my program as well. And a lot of self-care practices, a lot of mindset work, a lot of meditation, breath work, things that really ground you in your own body. As far as pelvic health is concerned, a lot of education about the pelvis and how you can connect to your pelvic floor through breath. It is truly so important for our overall health, and that is something that is affected through menopause and as we age, that cause a lot of symptoms for women who are in menopause and perimenopause. So I make sure that connection brings awareness, which then brings confidence, which then brings transformation. So really embracing that self-love is what I would say name as number one.
I love that. I love how you say treating yourself like your best friend. You know, when you think about that, it really brightens up the mood and the perspective. Like, okay, I gotta let me get up. Let me start doing this and that. So I really love that. Now, Terry, for you, when it comes to your greatest fear, what would you say just now, where you're at? What would be your greatest fear?
My greatest fear is dying too early. And that is because of the losses that I've experienced in my life. I lost both my parents when they were 60 of cancer. And my 3 out of my 4 grandparents passed away in their 60s. So I have a lot of odds to beat. And so I really chose to work in the wellness industry because I believe so strongly in staying here as long as I can and doing everything I can within my control to stay here for as long as possible. And so when I started, I found the menopause path through joint strength. And I was fascinated so much by the impact that the movement of your joint has on your health and the messages that are sent directly from the joints to the brain. And I was just kind of like wowed by that. And I'm still digging into that and learning everything I can about it and sharing as much as I can about it with anyone who'll listen. But the movement from our joints bypasses the filter of our nervous system and goes directly to our brain. So that just demonstrates how important it is for our overall health and well-being. So moving our joints all the time through their through their range of motion means that we will continue to be able to do that. So movement being one of the foundations of health, it will enable my brain, my joint brain connection to be sharp, and which will enable me to ward off things like dementia and other risks that we are all succumb to, or that we're all at risk of, especially as we age during menopause. We have such a different experience of menopause, all of us. There's no one cookie cutter solution to menopause symptoms. There's no one woman who will experience the same menopause for the same length of time, but we all have a few things are true. We all have the ability to mitigate our symptoms through exercise, sleep, and nutrition. We all are at increased risks for osteoporosis and heart disease and dementia. So I know I can impact those risks and help to mitigate those risks through moving my body. So I know that for myself, and I want to, with my biggest fear being dying too early and also having dementia, because it definitely does run in my family. So knowing that that's an increased risk during menopause, and also it's an early menopause, meaning before 48, you are at an additional increased risk of dementia as well. So I'm in postmenopause at 48, just about a year, if not just a little bit more since the date of my last period. So that seems early to me. And also when I look back on my health or my issues with fertility and my process of having my daughter, I do have a daughter who's 13, and she's my pride and joy. And luckily I was blessed through that process to have her. But understanding that fertility and issues with fertility are directly also correlated with an early menopause, which is also correlated with a risk of dementia, increased risk of dementia. So all those things combine to kind of fuel my fear of dying too early, which then impacts the way I show up in the world and the way I show up in my work, because I want ultimate radical health for myself, and I also want to share that with anyone who will listen, because we truly have this one beautiful life, and I'm so inspired by it, and I want to live as long as possible. I used to joke with my daughter that I wanted to live to be 105, and now it's my goal. It's a real goal. So now the joke is I might want to live to be a vampire. Because I don't ever want to die. But, so that's possible in our future. I'm going for that. But definitely shooting for the 105.
Let's go. And I'm here for it, because Terry, like, we have to listen. What's been what it is has been what it is, and we're only getting started. Our bodies have so many layers, and it's trying to adjust to its environment. And kudos to you for turning what could be just a painful situation and hard to overcome, and saying, what your parents went through, and turning that into power. right? Not just for like your daughter, she's able to see all that. I think that's so inspiring that you've been able to use that experience. Like, no, I can change what it has been. I can change my DNA, like literally, and shift things around just based on your belief that, yeah, no kidding, let's go, right? And having the right system to what you do, and it's so personalized. So any woman that can join, whatever they are in menopause, there's going to be a personalized approach for them. Is that right?
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. Customized to where you are, fitness plan that is according to your goals and according to your athletic level currently. And then you're always progressing along, definitely. And we look at lifestyle and the time you have to dedicate to your health and your meal planning and things like that. So it's definitely customized also to your symptoms and your goals. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And speaking of customization, one of the things I've learned from being in the bodybuilding industry, being a nurse on the hospital floor most of my nursing career, and then just personal training others, is that the status quo is just not enough. Our bodies are so unique, they layers to it, that everything has to be customized. And a traditional fitness plan is not fibroids. And I see a lot of women that are in that narrative of, what, yes, weight played a role in fibroid development, but fibroids are masses. They are immature cells. They are not fat cells, where a typical fitness plan can possibly work for that. So you mentioned gut health. And one thing I've learned that I wasn't taught in school was about our lymphatic system and how big of a role it plays in the body. And that's where the foundation lays with the type of workouts I help women learn if they're looking to optimize their womb health, strengthen their uterus, and everything around it is womb wellness workouts. I realized, just like you, Terry, that in our period cycle, there are ebbs and flows. And those ebbs and flows need to match the activity, the energy that we're dispersing every day, so that our body can continue to remain in harmony. And we experience crazy PMS, mood swings, things that are brought on by chronic inflammation from what we're eating, the stress. You mentioned cortisol. So we are at a point in our life that, with regard to self-love, right, belief system, and really wanting to deviate from the status quo, it could be done with the right community. With the right community. And it's like, it's no longer, oh, my doctor this, my doctor that. Your doctor can help you to a certain extent when it surrounds drugs and surgeries, but when it comes to really everything in between, a lot of things that have, caused our body to get here, like what we're eating and how we're moving our body, state of mind, do need to look into others, and mostly ones that have been down this journey. Terry's been able to do it. Phyllis has been able to do it. Why can't I? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, for sure. We need our mentors and our colleagues and our friends, and absolutely, we can't do it alone. And that goes back to your belief, your limiting belief that you had to do everything yourself, right? Which prevents you from moving forward with your health. So yeah, absolutely. We need each other, and I'm so glad we've met, because our journey together has just begun, and we'll be able to work together and help so many more women.
Absolutely.
In community.
Yeah. So for those that are watching the replay, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. And if you have any questions, or you're dealing with fibroids, you are are struggling with menopause, anything that really resonate with you, I really would encourage you to reach out to myself at Fibroid Queen. Fibroid Queen everywhere, everywhere from TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram. Instagram is where I do my education up there. And where I met Terry was on LinkedIn. So we are really, as she just said, we're just getting started. And we're really looking forward to, just more women we can help, because it's for all women. You may not be in menopause, you may not have fibroids, but you're trying to prevent having a crazy menopause and fibroid growth in your body. This is where to start. And where can we find you?
Yeah, thank you. I'm Terry Lynn Heath on Instagram, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. I'm also the Movement Path on Facebook and Instagram, so you can find me there. And we have some exciting things coming up in 2024. Phyllis, do you have a retreat planned? Is that that's exciting?
Thank you for mentioning. I almost forgot about that. Yeah, retreat coming up in Ghana. So we're doing a wellness retreat, and it's really catered around intelligence. Me and my business partner, she goes by Coach Kamisha Sade. We are doing a woman intelligence week in Ghana, and we chose Ghana. I am from Ghana, and right now Ghana is a place that gives radiance, it gives connection, it gives really a pure environment for you to take care of just your whole health, your self-discovery to another level, and leave with community, leave with systems, so that way it's not just, oh, I'm getting ready for the new year. You're already ready, right? You're ready for every year that comes along, because you are maintaining a system, a lifestyle that keeps you at your highest vibration. So it's in Ghana. If you want more information, it's happening in February. Definitely reach out, send me a DM. So yeah, thank you.
That's so exciting. Yeah, and also I have the Modern Matriarch is a 12-week program that begins in January 15th, and I'm really excited about that fitness program. Also layered with all the education you could possibly want about menopause and how to manage symptoms and how to prepare for your doctor's visits and how to form your menopause vision statement that really serves as your North Star moving through this amazing transition. So, yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So, I would love to know, Terry, what has been your greatest lesson thus far as we start to wrap up? What's been your greatest lesson for you thus far?
Well, originally I thought self-love for sure, love it, but we've talked about that already. So, that would rank up there. My biggest lesson is that I absolutely have to love myself. And the other one would be that it's important to have compassion. And I guess that probably goes along with self-love, but we have this entire journey to navigate, and we have to forgive ourselves for not reaching all the goals we thought we wanted to reach, or we have to recognize our movement along the path, right? Not just reaching the goal. We have to, I love the mantra, realize your efforts, notice your efforts. And it seems very simple. But the more I said it, the more I repeated it to myself, realize your efforts, notice your efforts. It just reminded me that the little small steps are movement towards the future self, the new you. And those are just as important as ringing the bell or checking the goal off your list. That is those small steps that really should be celebrated. And that means to me that I'm having compassion for myself in the process. Yeah.
That is so that's literally a personality trait of the uterus is compassion.
Oh, really? Wow.
Exercising compassion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that. And, for me, I'm just in a space of redefining power. I know words have a lot of power to it and a lot of meaning and emotion. And some words that have been downloaded to me or part of my saying, I realize are no longer cultivating. And I had to redefine my needs, including my belief system, but what fibroids are. And if you look up through the internet on Google, you're gonna have this, definition filled with a lot of medical jargon, but fibroids are literally masses composed of garbage, literally. And this is garbage that we've collected from life, from the food that we have, the way that we move our body. And it has collected on the most vulnerable part of our body, which is our uterus. So if you get rid of the garbage by redefining what life looks like for you and what fibroids are, hence Fibroid Queen, a reflection of treating myself like a queen, to use fibroids as a reminder that it opened me up to this way of life. But if I continue to treat myself like a queen, there will be no room for disease. So that's my read.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes. You deserve to be treated like a queen.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the womb health is just so intriguing and beautiful to me. And it makes sense that that's the place of compassion, and that's where what's associated with the womb. So nurturing and empathetic, compassionate. We have to show that same compassion to it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That part.
Yeah. I when I was going through my fertility journey, I received uterine massages from my naturopath that were lovely. And I was very intrigued by that and thought one day that maybe I want to do something like this. So the womb care is such a beautiful, womb wellness is so beautiful. It's just a beautiful thing to say.
It is.
Yeah.
I am so glad that we've been able to get on and hopefully inspire you. We would love to know your takeaways and any suggestions. If you would like us to do another live together topic would empower you, feel free to send a message to Terry. And Terry, this is fun. I mean, I had so much of just good energy here. Just the synergy we have is so strong, and I think we have so much to do. But the way that we're doing it is such in a cultivating way that it keeps us lit and passionate, where we can come in and just pour out like we did today. So
yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed this conversation, and it's very inspiring for me. And yeah, I feel like I'm in the flow with you in conversation. So definitely let us know if you'd like to see more and what you'd like to see more of or learn more about. And we're here for it.
Yes, we are here for it.
Well, it's been lovely, Phyllis. Should we wrap it up?
Yes. I think this is good. So yeah, we can't wait to see you all on. And thank you so much, Terry, for co-hosting with me.
Thank you so much, Phyllis. Have a lovely day.
You too.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Yeah. See you soon. Bye.